Hello dear audience. Cherry Blossom. This story follows the loving married life of Ly Tu Diem and CEO Toan. From their early days together, they built a warm and happy home, welcomed two adorable children, and continued to nurture their love through every little moment. Despite their busy careers, they always put family first, living fully with love and responsibility. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more heartwarming and inspiring content. The married life of Ly Tu Diem and CEO Toan didn't begin with sweet words or grand promises, but was built upon the simplest yet most solid things: understanding, respect, and unwavering trust in one another. They came together after many storms, after years of facing countless challenges side by side in both work and life. It was through those clashes, reconciliations, and quiet moments of love that they realized no one could be a better companion than the one currently holding their hand. After a warm yet elegant wedding, they stepped into a new chapter, not a pink-tinted fairy tale, but a journey where they laid each brick of their shared home with care. Ly Tu Diem, a modern woman full of strength and gentleness, always knew how to create a space filled with peace and love. She didn't strive for perfection, but instead made their home a place where both could be truly themselves, vulnerable, joyful, even exhausted, and still be cherished and respected. As for Toan, once known as the cold machine of the business world, he gradually changed after marriage. He became softer when he came home, often putting his phone aside just to listen to his wife talk about her day, or simply to make her a warm cup of tea on late, tiring nights. He wasn't a man of many words, but his actions always conveyed a quiet, thoughtful kind of love. Of course, their life together wasn't without arguments. Sometimes it was about work, sometimes just minor things around the house. But what made their relationship special was the way they always chose to return to each other. Neither of them needed to win, nor did they insist on being right. They learned to listen, to compromise, to apologize, and to forgive. Because they understood, love isn't about avoiding conflict, but about overcoming it together. Every morning, they woke up side by side, greeted each other with a smile and a warm glance. Every evening, no matter how busy, they made time to have dinner together, even if it was just a simple meal. These small routines became the threads that wove their relationship closer, keeping the flame of love burning through the years. Friends often admired their home, not because of luxurious decor or grand design, but because of the way they looked at each other, still filled with tenderness as if it were the very first day. For Ly Tu Diem and Toan, love doesn't lie in faraway promises, but in the present, in every shared moment where two hearts continue to choose each other and build a home full of warmth, compassion, and enduring affection. Their love found its true shape the moment it transformed into something even more profound: a family. For Ly Tu Diem and Toan, becoming parents wasn't just about having children. It was about discovering a new kind of love, a deeper purpose, and a shared journey unlike any they had known before. The birth of their two children, a bright, energetic little boy and a gentle, sunshine-filled daughter, brought a new rhythm to their lives, one that pulsed with laughter, sleepless nights, and indescribable joy. Their son, always curious and full of questions, became the little explorer of the house, turning every corner into an adventure. He had his father's quiet strength and his mother's sharp wit. Their daughter, on the other hand, was all warmth and light. Her smile could brighten the darkest day. With her tiny arms around their necks and soft voice calling mommy or daddy, she reminded them daily why love was worth everything. The early days of parenthood were both magical and messy. There were times when Ly Tu Diem sat on the nursery floor, cradling a crying baby in one arm while half asleep herself, or when Toan rushed home from meetings just to catch a bedtime story. But even in the exhaustion, they found beauty. Even in chaos, they found connection. Diem often joked that their living room looked more like a toy store explosion than a designer space, but to her, every scattered stuffed animal and scribbled drawing was proof of a home that was alive. They embraced the imperfections of parenting. They didn't try to raise perfect children, only happy and kind ones. Mornings were often a race, packing lunchboxes, searching for missing socks, and kissing scraped knees. Evenings were for warm baths, shared giggles, and sleepy hugs under soft blankets. Their home echoed with lullabies, bedtime stories, and the kind of laughter that made walls feel like they were hugging you back. What made their family life so special wasn't grand gestures, it was the little things. The way Toan gently braided their daughter's hair while humming, even though his fingers fumbled awkwardly. The way Diem let her son help in the kitchen, even if it meant flour everywhere. They made time for connection, for board games on rainy days, pancake Sundays, and spontaneous dance parties in the living room. They created rituals that belonged only to them. Every Friday night, the family would gather for movie night, where popcorn was mandatory and pajamas were encouraged. On birthdays, they'd have homemade cakes, no matter how lopsided. On tough days, they held each other close and reminded themselves that love was their constant, their shelter. Toan, who once saw success only through the lens of business goals and achievements, began to redefine what true fulfillment meant. It wasn't in contracts signed or targets met, it was in the way his daughter lit up when she saw him walk through the door, or the way his son tried to imitate his every move. Ly Tu Diem, too, found a new kind of strength, not in boardrooms, but in bedtime songs, scraped knee kisses, and the quiet power of being the heart of their home. Together, they learned that family wasn't just something they built, it was something they chose to nurture every day. It was in the sacrifices they made without resentment, the patience they cultivated without praise, and the joy they created out of the ordinary. For Ly Tu Diem and Toan, their family was not an accessory to their lives, it was the soul of it. A living, breathing reminder that no matter how high they soared in the world outside, their greatest legacy would always begin in the walls of their home, with the two little hearts who called them Mom and Dad. As life moved forward, the demands of work and society grew heavier, meetings, deadlines, and responsibilities pulling them in all directions. Yet, in the heart of it all, Ly Tu Diem and Toan remained unwavering in their quiet promise to never let ambition come at the cost of their family. They didn't seek balance as an abstract concept, they lived it, daily, through small, deliberate choices that kept their home grounded and their love steady. Toan, as CEO, bore the weight of thousands of decisions. His days were filled with boardrooms, flights, and the pressure to lead with excellence. But he was also the father who left early meetings just to catch his son's school play, who answered late-night calls from his daughter asking about constellations because she couldn't sleep. He learned to pause, to truly be present in moments that could easily be missed. Ly Tu Diem, too, juggled multiple roles with graceful strength. She continued to thrive in her career, yet never let the demands of the outside world dim her presence at home. She believed in raising children not just with love, but with awareness, teaching them to be kind, to ask questions, to dream fearlessly but also to take responsibility for their actions. Her evenings were filled with guiding homework, baking cookies for school events, or simply sitting with her children under a blanket, talking about their day. They didn't strive for perfection, they strived for intention. Even when tired, they carved out time for each other and for their children. Weekend mornings were sacred, sometimes spent outdoors in quiet family hikes, other times simply on the couch in pajamas, eating pancakes and watching cartoons. They understood that it wasn't about doing everything, but about being fully present in the things that mattered most. Their parenting wasn't loud or rigid. It was built on mutual respect, open conversations, and gentle discipline. They encouraged questions, welcomed mistakes, and celebrated effort more than results. When the children argued, they didn't just separate them, they helped them understand, forgive, and grow. They led by example, showing their kids what it meant to live with integrity, patience, and compassion. As a couple, they grew too, not just as parents, but as partners. They supported each other's dreams without fear or ego. Toan always made time to listen to Diem's ideas, giving her the same attention he gave to high-level investors. Diem never let Toan's burdens remain silent, she asked, she listened, and when he faltered, she reminded him of who he was, not just as a CEO, but as the man she fell in love with. Evenings often ended not in luxury, but in simplicity, brushing their children's hair, reading bedtime stories, sharing a cup of tea after the house went quiet. Those were the moments they cherished most, when everything else faded and what remained was the undeniable truth that love, when nurtured with care, can withstand anything. For Ly Tu Diem and Toan, dreams and responsibility weren't opposite forces. They were companions on the same journey. They didn't have to choose between success and family, they chose to define success as a life where both could thrive. And in doing so, they gave their children not just a home, but a legacy, one built on love, effort, and the courage to live fully with both heart and purpose.